Commonwealth Big C of Nations is a specific association of 56 countries, almost all of which have historical ties to the British Empire. That's what most people mean when they just say the Commonwealth.
Or entity or country associated with Commonwealth means that all of their wealth is common. But the reality of the fact is that Commonwealth ain't common.
Ain't common at all. You know it's JEJE Vibe. Can you feel the vibe? What's up, ladies and gentlemen?
We're back.
You know it's JEJE Vibe.
On JEJE.
You know the vibe is here. You know I got the queen with me. Today we're going to be talking about Commonwealth. When it is not common.
It's about time to talk about it.
Commonwealth. Crazy. I think the idea when they say Commonwealth, the thing that comes to mind is that our wealth is common.
Yep. Everybody associated with or entity or country associated with Commonwealth means that all of their wealth is common. But the reality of the fact is that Commonwealth ain't common.
Ain't common at all. And that's what we've come to understand over the years. So today we're going to be talking about the idea of Commonwealth nations.
Our next story is about the so-called Commonwealth of Nations. For those of you who don't know, the Commonwealth is an international association made up of the UK and former British colonies. It's a strange little club whose prime function is a mystery.
Key.
It's a mystery.
So these are former British colonies that are members.
Every countries that the British colonized.
Facto.
We don't have free trade agreements. We don't have visa-free travel to the UK. As far as anyone can tell, the only purpose is nostalgia. Maybe it's to remind Charles of the good old days when his family subjugated over 20% of the world's population.
Crazy.
But now even those memories are proving uncomfortable for Britain.
So there is no benefits
associated with it. If you
all
really
the
think
countries.
about it, if you say our wealths are common, why is it that the exchange rate is different?
The exchange rate is not common.
If £1 is equating to thousands in another currency, how common is the wealth then?
Commonwealth is not common.
Every 8 years, the Commonwealth elects a new Secretary General. The next one will be chosen in October, and this time the 3 candidates are from Africa, from Gambia, Ghana, and Lesotho. All 3 candidates could become a problem for Britain because they all support reparations. Reparations mean compensation for past wrongs.
They're not going to allow that, because if they did, that means now you need to pay us everything you're owing us as part of being part of Commonwealth.
It's time to pay up. This nostalgic reminder of what you had to put people through when you were like the colonial masters. It's time for you to pay up. It's not common that we're just here saying we are in common ground, and when the ground is not even common. There's no benefit in us calling ourselves Commonwealth. It's time to pay for what you owe.
It's a way of making amends, usually in the form of cash. All 3 Commonwealth Secretary General candidates believe the UK owes reparations for slavery and for colonialism. Now,
Crazy.
India is a former British colony. We won our independence from the British in 1947, so the reparation issue could affect us too. The issue is certainly interesting. On the one hand, India should definitely be compensated for colonization. Before the British came along, India was one of the richest regions in the world. This is This is said often enough, but let me add some context. The English word
Shall we talk about
has
Nigeria
origins in
too, and how they used to be all flourished before
Same thing with Nigeria.
the British came and decided to colonize? And even after colonization, hey, Nigeria just recently celebrated their independence, and
independence
there's
in
still
Nigeria.
no. I would not even say that.
Oh, we gotta
There's
say
still
that
no.
the Nigerians
There's
were
still
there,
no
they have
changes since, or things have gotten worse from the first day of independence till now.
There's nothing to be happy about,
is
though. But
is
still.
Nigeria really independent? If you really think about it,
It's not. It's just paper independence. It's just like
so why are we celebrating it in the first place?
it's the idea of freedom. When you like, I give you the idea of freedom. You're not really free. Okay, like it's just the idea that you have. You think you're free, but you're not.
It's crazy.
So it's just the same idea when it comes to the Commonwealth.
Yep.
I welcome you into my home, but that doesn't mean that you can just still remember that it's my home. It's not a common home. It's not like you just have to know where to go to, and there's some places that you can't touch. There's some places that you can't be. So it's it's just the same thing happening here with Commonwealth. There is no gain for the members. The only thing is that it's just a reminder that you're still underneath us.
We're still colonizing you.
Still colonizing you. The idea that you have freedom. We gave you that freedom, now we can take it back.
The Commonwealth Big C of Nations is a specific association of 56 countries, almost all of which have historical ties to the British Empire. That's what most people mean when they just say the Commonwealth. It's a voluntary union of independent nations that cooperate and support each other in common goals like development, democracy, and peace. It started in 1926 when Britain formally agreed to give equal status to Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and Canada, along with Newfoundland, but that's now part of Canada. These places were formerly considered dominions of the British Empire, which is like a step up from colonies.
The
But
the British Empire and its dominions.
Yeah. It's what it is. The places they own. They're dominions.
Dominating the minions.
Oh my God. Oh my God. That was hard. But that was not it's not to be taken as a joke, because even Nigeria right now, there's a cry for us to get back our artifacts.
Bronzes of Nigeria. They were stolen, they were looted from Nigeria during the 19th century by the Brits during colonial times, and have since spread all around the globe. You can see some of these cultural treasures behind me, not necessarily made of bronze, different metals, wood, even ivory, and much admired around the world in museums. The question, though, the fierce debate that has been going on for decades, should they stay in these museums or go back to Nigeria? Let me show you where the Kingdom of Benin was back in the 19th century, just here in the southern part of Nigeria. So this is the Kingdom of Benin. It's not the Republic of Benin. Now you have those facts. Let's get the debate started.
Oh, Ghana now recently just got back their artifacts.
But it's still alone.
It's still alone.
It was loaned. Imagine stealing.
But it was
stuff.
looted.
Yeah, imagine stealing what belongs to you and now I'm borrowing you back.
Yeah,
stuff.
it's crazy.
That's crazy.
Ghanaian gold regalia to the country in a historic loan deal set out on Thursday. Some 32 objects from London's British Museum and Victoria and Albert Museum were looted from an Asante king in the 19th century. The partnership with the Ghanaian Museum comes after Asante King Otumfo Osei Tutu II visited London last May to attend the coronation of King Charles. They will be loaned to the Mania Palace Museum in the city of Kumasi under 2 separate 3-year agreements, and are set to form part of the Ghanaian King's Silver Jubilee celebration later this year. The museums acknowledge the, quote, cultural, historical, and spiritual significance of the objects, but some museums say they are banned by law from permanently returning contested items in their collections, but that there's still a battle to fight for the true and proper restoration of our dignity and of all the things stolen, not loaned back to us.
I steal your stuff and I'm now
lending it back to you.
Like,
crazy.
For a certain period of time, you just gotta have this, but
why can't you just let it go? It's not yours in the first place.
It's crazy. People's history, country's history, you've taken from them until date. You're still holding it, and you're putting it in your museums and everywhere for people.
And you're saying that the Commonwealth is common, and it's not.
It's not. So if India is complaining, it's the same thing with all the members of the Commonwealth, and they're asking for reparations now.
As they should. It's their right.
There's always a time to
pay back.
You can't go all these years and just be reaping the benefits
and
of colonization.
The British are broke these days.
The whole world is broke.
You said it.
The whole world is broke right now. Like, there's so much craziness going on. Running away from the conversation is not going to stop the conversation from being had. So this conversation is here now, and it's time for us to talk about it. Are we really in Commonwealth? Is the Commonwealth really common?
Commonwealth ain't common.
So if he ain't common, then we have to do something about it. So that's the whole point of what's happening right now. It's crazy right now in the world. So the idea is, I want to ask everybody that's watching this video, is Commonwealth common? From what we know, or from what we've seen, or from what we like, from the whole idea.
It's not even a question. It ain't common.
It ain't common. So guys, drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. You know it's JEJE Vibe. We out of here. We see you in the next one.
Oh, JEJE. Oh, JEJE. Oh, JEJE.